Go back and eat your burger. Quit banging around Barstool like an idiot. You're not dying. You're just taking medicine that's making your blood pool in your fingernails. And by the way, I'm not sure it's causing hair growth. TBD on that. Hello and welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the most important hour of your day. I'm your host, the Fat Jack. New year, new you. We're hitting into 2026. Football's in fullest of swings. We've got the playoffs coming up. A lot of sad kittens around the middle part of the country in Oklahoma and Kansas City, and we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about this week's games coming up, talk about the playoffs, who's going to win it all. We're going to break down Texas Tech and the hedge bet there. So many different things to get to as we start turning the clock toward the new year, and a great time for you to get signed up if you haven't yet. Let me bring in my co-host. We'll get this thing underway and hopefully get you into making some money betting on sports as we head into the new year. Mr. Brandon Rush, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. It's a road game for me this weekend. I am in the outskirts of Tulsa at my sister-in-law's house. She's actually in Tucson at the moment, visiting her youngest. So I have this huge house to myself at the moment. I got a pool table back here. So if things get too out of hand or something happens, I can at least entertain myself.
I think that's a sign that when you go to somebody's house, if they've left for Tucson, that they probably are telling you all you need to know. So, I mean, is she coming back anytime soon, or just, come on over, guys? I'm not going to be there, but do what you want. Is that where we are?
No, it was just a timing issue. We were coming in for the holiday. They were going out of town for the holiday, and the internet at my father-in-law's house is terrible, and hers works great. So I had to pop over here so we could do the show.
Well, that sounds great. I'm not sure this is a much better connection, but hopefully we're going to get through it. It's certainly it's a road game for both of us. I'm in Breckenridge. We're skiing. Why in the world I would ever choose to do that on purpose, intentionally, and pay thousands of dollars to do so? I am becoming one of those people that questions my decisions in my free time because there are a lot of other things I could be doing that, A, don't make me look like a meth addict, B, don't make my body hurt. Every day's leg day up here, and C, frankly, everybody's a little bit cranky because there's no oxygen. They're all like, it's a constant workout. Everybody's a little bit on edge, so I don't know why I choose to do this, but we are Breckenridge, so kind of a road game for us as well. Road game, speaking of that, we've got these playoffs coming up. Let me give out the website because I want to jump right into this, Brandon. We've got a lot of these games coming up that people are excited about, and then some that people are like, I wish college football was over. So we'll look back to last week a little bit, the last couple weeks, and then dig into these games. FatJackSports.com, maybe the most important time of the year for you if you haven't been a client, because you have the opportunity, if you sign up right now, to get preseason rates. They're going to save you thousands of dollars on the new year. You're going to get all the plays through the new year. So 2026 is going to be a winning year betting on sports if you'll make one decision now to help make that happen. Go to FatJackSports.com. Look at the season packages for the new year. They're never going to be lower. If you sign up between now and midnight on the 31st, if you're catching the show after the 31st for whatever reason, you have missed the lowest rates. You're now paying at least $100 more, up to $300 more, depending on the package. So take advantage of this week. Save that extra money. But more importantly than that, it buys you so much freedom. All right, we've been offering this package, Brandon, for about 5 years now, this incentive to sign up early for the new year. And I give these big, deep discounts because it allows guys, hopefully pushes them over the edge, and it does. Hundreds of people will take advantage of this to where they're paying less for the plays. That's automatically going to get you into profit quicker. Also, it's going to get you all the plays, not just the plays you're playing for the best rate, but the free plays. You're going to get the baseball season for free. You're going to get horse racing for free, the Triple Crown, Breeders' Cup, all those things. So all those things are going to be included for free. You have the ability to pay out the service fee up to 10 months. So basically, starting now through September, you'll make a monthly payment that will be reduced off what you're going to pay if you sign up in September. And more importantly, you're able to start your package today, so you're getting all the plays between now and September. You're paying the lowest rate, and you're getting all the plays. So if you decide in the summer you're going to go to Tahiti and they don't have gambling in Tahiti or Hawaii or wherever, it doesn't matter because the rate you're paying allows you to – you're getting a lot of this for free. versus waiting until either right before the Breeders' Cup if you want, or excuse me, right before the World Cup if you want soccer, or right before football if you're just a football guy. Whatever it is you like to bet, we have made it to where right now is the time for you to sign up. We've given you all sorts of incentives. All you have to do is take that, invest in your year, invest in 2026. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and make this a new year. Brandon, did I leave anything out before we break down these games?
I think one thing to hammer home is that this year long price, getting all the sports, is almost, I don't know the exact number, but is almost the same price as getting just football season starting in August. I mean, it's probably a little bit more because you're getting all sports and you're getting all the months, but it from a value standpoint, a price per pick, price per day, price per month, it is so close to waiting and getting until August and getting so much more.
And yeah, you get all the plays between now and then for free. We can't harp on that enough because if you sign up for all the sports in August, you're missing all the plays. It's December, guys. So all of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, into August. If you wait until August, you're missing all of that. So, and you are, to Brandon's point, you will pay more in August for exactly the same package that you're getting today. Let me repeat that. Whatever package you would get in August, you're paying more in August for the exact same package than to get that exact package now. And you get all these plays for free. Jack, why is it? Have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? Why would you give away all this? Because I want you to win. As a sports gambler, I want you to win. I want you to be successful because two reasons. I've said this thousands of times. You become a long-term client when you win. You're not just signing up for the day or the weekend or the month or whatever, which people will do all year round. They'll sign up for the weekend and pay so much more than if they would get the year. You become a long-term successful sports gambler, so you're going to be a long-term client. And number two, and more importantly to me, you're going to become less of a pain in my ass or Brandon's butt when you sign up for a weekend and we happen to go 2-4 or whatever, or we get bad beat. We were heading toward a huge weekend a week or so ago. We had two plays in the Sunday night game between Baltimore and New England. And we basically, in about less than a minute and a half of game time, went from a 2-0 sweeper on those and a huge week overall to just a good week. We won that week. We'd started 9-2. I couldn't give back 9-2 if I tried. It's really hard to do you know what you're doing. If you start 9-2, you're going to have trouble giving that away. Saturday we won, went 3-1 in basketball. We won in football. Soccer won literally every single day over the weekend. We made a ton of money that week. But if a guy just signs up Sunday morning for Sunday and pays $99 and then he went 1-2-1 over that time, then he's going to just complain and be upset and think that we're not any good when the reality is he just got the bad part of kind of the ebb and flow of the NFL and got a bad beat on one game. So I want to turn that guy into a winning sports player long term. So FatJackSports.com, get signed up today and win this weekend. Let's quickly look back before we turn to these playoff games, Brandon. Oklahoma, Alabama, and the other games, I'll just put it that way. Miami, A&M, we had Miami. That was not a surprise. I told people in the breakdown, not only on this show, but all over the country, that game was exactly like the Indiana-Ohio State game, and it played out exactly like that, other than there were even fewer points by both of those teams. You could make fewer mistakes and win. So that one went kind of according to plan. Other than that, what did you take away from Oklahoma, Alabama? Let's talk about that for a second, because that's the other one that both these teams had so much to win and to lose. And there's people listening. I know there's people in Oklahoma listening. They don't want to talk about this at all. They want to move on. But I do think it's important for us to put a bow, not on the Oklahoma season, but what you took away from that game, how that affects not only the Sooners, but Alabama going forward. What are your thoughts on those first-round playoff games?
I mean, the 17-0 start was everything you could possibly dream up if you're Oklahoma. But then to have the mistakes that happened, you have the botch snap on the punt, you have the pick six. When it got to 17-all, I verbally said out loud, we're going to find out how tough this team is. And I think when they decided to not try to score before the end of the half, they had the ball near midfield, 4 or 5 seconds left and a timeout. They didn't try a Hail Mary. They didn't try a long field goal with a Luke Rosa Award winner. They just went into the locker room and said, hey, we're going to regroup and come back in the second half. I think at that point they were shook and they didn't have anything to respond with in the second half. So it was interesting to see how pressure makes those moments. And if you don't play in big time games throughout the season, you're not going to be ready for those moments. Oklahoma definitely played in some big time moments, some big time games this season, but when it mattered most, they weren't able to respond. I don't know if that comes from the top down. I don't know if there was, maybe Alabama just beat them on that day. But when it came down to it, Oklahoma didn't have a response, and teams that get down in these playoff games, it feels to me that, favored or not, pressure starts to mount, and then you don't if you're not great at one good thing, especially offensively, you don't have a shot.
Yeah, a couple things. Nobody needs to be fired. So anybody out there that thinks anybody needs to be fired is an idiot. Okay, go drink some more eggnog, enjoy your weekend, and try to get over that, because that's stupid. It was a great year for the Sooners. They won a bunch of games they weren't supposed to. Going into the season, they had one of the hardest schedules of anybody. Brent Venables was on the hot seat, I guess. He was. And they played well. What they didn't get was they played a bad game at the most important time. Similar to what Alabama did when Oklahoma beat them at Alabama. They turned the ball over. The pick six by Mateer is not okay. The punter loses his thumbs and just drops the ball. And by the way, anybody that's ever punted knows that does happen. I punted. This is stupid, but I did. When I was younger, I punted. And the drop is more of there's more technique than just throwing it out in front of you. And he clearly got ahead of himself. It was a cold night and dropped it. I'm not saying it was okay any more than the pick six was okay, but those things happen. And then you get a couple of easy things you don't expect. Then you get one of your stars just giving a layup to a team that is equally as good as you. That's the whole thing. Alabama and Oklahoma very evenly matched. So they played 10 times. Yep. And that's how I look at these games after the fact, all of them. If these teams played 10 times, who would win on these close ones? This is 5-5. Absolutely. Whoever makes the fewest amount of mistakes is going to lose or win. Whoever makes the most mistakes are going to lose. It was interesting at halftime. Alabama had very few yards rushing. All the things that we thought Alabama had to do, they weren't able to do. So Oklahoma has a great year. People just need to move on, build from that. Alabama goes out to play in the Rose Bowl. It's funny. I had a bunch of Sooner fans kind of reaching out to my wife and I about, hey, what are you guys going to be doing? We have a place in Orange County, and what do you guys do for the New Year's? We were just thinking about you a little bit. It just came into our mind. And now that OU's not going, we haven't heard from any of them. So a lot of those people that I think were planning on
one-way conversations.
Yeah, they were laying the groundwork. Little did they know that there were multiple people laying the groundwork. And we don't have enough for 50. Yes, I'm hearing from a lot of people wanting to come out for the new year for the game and stuff. Now I'm not hearing from anybody. So the Sooner fans have gone home. We've got Alabama playing against Indiana in the Rose Bowl. What are your thoughts on just overall the games coming up? What are your thoughts? Where are you looking for not only some value, but just overall? Do we get it right? By the way, before we do that, I should mention that just because the big underdogs got blown out, that does not change my argument at all for whether they should be in or not. They are supposed to get blown out, but they're also supposed to have the opportunity to play in those games so that they can go recruit people to play on their team that will have the opportunity to improve them so they won't get blown out. And by the way, Brandon, and I know I asked you a question, then I ran off on a rant, which is I know you're used to after 20 years.
It, yeah.
But this was not the first time. Let's not act like James Madison and Tulane, this was an anomaly that they got beat by 100. All right. Since we've had this playoffs, Tulane has lost by 58. Florida State lost by 39. Michigan State lost by 38. Oklahoma lost by 38 or 35. Ohio State lost by 31. Alabama lost by 28. SMU lost by 28. Ohio State. These names ring a bell? These are good teams that are getting their teeth kicked in this exact same tournament. So if you're out there and like, I told you they were any good, Texas would have been better, you are missing the point. There are going to be blowouts in this tournament, whether it's Norman High School, Tulane, or Ohio State. Get used to it and wrap your brain around being for college football as a whole and less about the selfish view, in my opinion. And if I wasn't the owner of the show here, I would say, the comments and opinions of this show are not necessarily da-da-da-da-da, but I don't have to do that because they absolutely are of mine. Brandon, I would just say Brandon might not agree. But in my opinion, if you don't want those teams in, you're excluding 85% of all of college football. I'm not okay doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are upset that the games are not competitive, Don't watch. Don't watch. If you're worried about competitiveness, don't watch non-conference games. Don't watch when
This is
Northern Illinois plays Michigan. It's if you're looking for competition, go do something else. But this is not what this is for.
anybody that's against these teams getting in, or more importantly, against bowl games, have lost their minds. Bowl games are great because you know the amount of kids that do get to play and experience these bowl games. It's a lot more than people playing in the playoff. If my son or I go to Northern Iowa, or where, not Northern, it's a horrible example. If they go to Northern Illinois, I want them to be rewarded with a cool trip and some fun things and an Xbox and all that kind of crap. Bowl games have a place in college football because most teams cannot play in this formula. And then with the ones that do play, some of them are going to be outmanned. Or they're going to show up and throw pick sixes and their punter's going to lose their thumbs. And they're going to end up not being able to make field goals from 40 yards, even though they're Lou Groza World. These things are going to happen and they're going to lose. And some of them are going to lose by a lot. But so don't mix those 2 points up. By the way, you put up something about this on TikTok and stuff, and there were a lot of people that actually, those type of things get engagement. There are so many people that think I'm absolutely dead wrong with my view on this, and I obviously don't give a crap whether you think I'm right or not. I'm not changing my mind, but I'm okay with the feedback that people give on the other side. It just reinforces the fact that I know when you say you don't want these teams, that you don't care about college football, you care about the best games for this thing, and that's not what this is about entirely. We're going to get the best champion. Nobody's going to argue who wins, whether the best team or not. We're going to know that when it's over with. This just gives some people at the table that wouldn't necessarily get it. Let's talk about Indiana and Alabama, since we're on that in the Rose Bowl. What are your thoughts on this game?
Very interesting to see what Indiana does off a 3.5 week layoff since the Big Ten championship game versus an Alabama team that just won a road game, which is essentially a conference road game, but also a road playoff game. This is a huge moment for Indiana. I kind of don't like that this round of games isn't played on campus. If we're going to tweak anything about the college football playoff, I think this round should be on campus, because how amazing, how electric it would Bloomington be? How electric would Lubbock be with a playoff game on campus as opposed to playing in the Rose Bowl? Now, granted, Indiana hasn't been in the Rose Bowl since the 50s, so this is going to be majestic for them either way. But if we're going to tweak anything, let's tweak that. As for the game, Indiana coming off a layoff, Bama not coming off a layoff. I think that these two teams are more equally matched than a lot of people realize. Both play pretty solid defense. To me, it's just much like last time. Does Alabama avoid the mistakes? And if they do, maybe they can cover the 6.5. But I don't think that Indiana's 6.5 points better than Alabama.
I think it's going to be. This is such good drama. And by the way, where are the next two rounds? While I'm giving my side of this, where are the next two games played? Are they go to what? They'd go to Atlanta and then what?
They
Where's
go Atlanta and then Phoenix, the Cardinals.
Phoenix,
Stadium.
maybe,
So
Phoenix. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the finals are in Miami. Yeah, makes sense. But they're never going to go home field because these bowls have a big part of this, and they give a bunch of money, and they're major bowls. So what does the Rose Bowl look like on a year just like this? If these are home field games, who's playing in the Rose Bowl? You have to have enough games to fill up all the bowls.
You can still make the Rose Bowl part of this, but I don't think the Fiesta Bowl should be part of this. That to me, that's not a big name bowl. It should be the Sugar Bowl, it should be the Rose Bowl, it should be the Orange Bowl, maybe the Cotton. Maybe those are the ones that are on a rotational deal. I've never thought the Fiesta Bowl was upper echelon. It's not like Phoenix is a huge media market. Maybe it's just easy to fly to when it's warm weather. That's the only benefit the Fiesta Bowl has ever had for me.
Yeah, I think that the college football would see that going in the opposite direction of where they want to. It's open, interesting thought. You're right. Some of these teams playing at home, it would be an interesting formula to see where they ended up. I'm okay with what they're doing. I'm okay using the bowls. And as you said, teams like Indiana that have not had the success level are going to play in the Rose Bowl. You saw how excited the Alabama players were in Norman when they realized they all had roses in their mouth, that it's another really special moment for them that they'll be able to look back and say, boy, that was super cool. Your point on the game, this is a big week for the Big Ten. For those people like me, and I am from the South, I mean, I'll be the first to say it, I do believe that the SEC is the best conference in the country, top to bottom. I think that the players are better. This goes back to when I played, when I was recruited, when my son played, when he was recruited. The better players come from the South overall in my lifetime. Doesn't mean that if you're from, Pennsylvania that you're not good at football. Just in my opinion, it's easier to recruit kids in the South because there's better players in the South. There's a reason why Florida and Texas are considered widely to be the best high school football breeding ground that there are, and they have been for a long time. Doesn't mean you're no good in Ohio. It just means there's more in Florida and Texas and places like that. So I have a bias toward the SEC. This week is a big week for the Big Ten. They have games they're supposed to win. You're getting an Alabama team that might have lost their coach to Michigan had they lost to OU. We don't know. And you're getting a Miami, a Florida team that backed their way in and that has already beaten an SEC team. So if Ohio State or Indiana lose, I mean, these are 1-3 in the country, but they've been beating up on teams that are north of Kansas City. So, or at least been played north of Kansas City. So I think it's a huge week for the Big Ten this week, and frankly for recruiting going forward. And it's the whole conference versus conference thing is really going to play itself out after this week, because we're either going to look at teams like Texas Tech, and we're, by the way, after the break. Matter of fact, let's get to break, Brandon. We're in mid-thought. I'm midstream. This is a perfect way for people to get a little bit of a glimpse into my head, into the 6 inches between my ears, and see that there is really not a formula. This is how you win betting on sports, is that you don't stick to something too long. Let's come back. We have so much to get to with these games. We're going to talk about Texas Tech. We're going to give you hedge advice on that, get you out of that, or give you a couple opportunities to guarantee yourself to make money. We still have the NFL to look at. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Mayhem there. Chiefs aren't going to the playoffs. We're going to take a break, come back, get you ready to make more money. You're listening to the Fat Jack Sports Hour.
Before the ball is tipped or a shot is even taken, before the crowd explodes or history is made. If you're going to bet, have a game plan. Bet legally, set limits, and keep it fun. When gambling becomes a problem, visit responsibleplay.org to find help.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to fatjacksports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. fatjacksports.com.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and now here is our host, the man who is ready to walk us through a potential hedge of an 80-1 ticket. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 2. Yeah, we have people walking. By the way, fatjacksports.com. I'm getting ready to help people get out or hedge or what I would do. There's a million ways to approach this. But what I would personally do, if I had a ticket, I have a big ticket. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give the most normal response to this. So Texas Tech, those of you who are new to the show, I gave them away back in the first week or second week of September. They were 80-1, and I told everybody, bet a little bit, sprinkle a little bit on them to win the national championship. I don't know if they're going to win the national championship, but I do think they are absolutely going to win the Big 12. They win the Big 12. They might get a bye. Even if they don't get a bye, they get the playoffs at 80-1 or 50-1 or anywhere in there. You're going to be able to hedge out of that. And we're going to explain that in a second. Hedge out of that and be able to guarantee yourself money based on a decision you made in September. That's really what the goal should be when you're tying up money for the entire season. To me, it's not about hitting the 8-1 Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl or Kansas or whatever. You're tying up money too long to just get paid off. What I'm trying to do is get a team that has big odds, 20-1 or better is kind of my number. Get them at better than 20-1, bet on them for a normal amount that's not going to interfere with my bankroll as I go through the season. And then when they get in the play, if and when they make the playoffs, and we have 3 in the NFL, 1 in college football, then bet the other side, hedge out of that spot, guarantee yourself money. 5X is kind of my number. I want to make 5 times. So I bet $1,000. I got them at 80-1, let's say, just for round, it's 82, but let's say 81. So I have $1,000 to win $80,000 if Texas Tech wins the national championship game. They have 3 more games they have to win the national championship game. Do I think they're going to? I don't care. For the sake of this bet, I'm not trying to predict whether And by the way, I will tell you, there's a 95% chance I'm releasing Texas Tech to my clients this weekend because I do think they're better than Oregon. Vegas is not like Texas Tech all year long. They're 11-1 against the spread. The only number they didn't cover all year long, their quarterback was out. Their only loss, their quarterback was out. Vegas doesn't know how to handle this team, and neither does the general public. That's why after even a couple wins, they were still 60-1. After 3 wins, they were still 60-1. People aren't used to this because it's NIL. It's pay to play. It's getting players that shouldn't be out in West Texas eating tacos. They should be in Alabama eating whatever it is people eat in Alabama or in Georgia or those type places. We're just ahead of the game, which is my job doing this full time, is to figure out a way to get ahead of the game and then make money on that. So here's what I suggest. You should have got it, and I do know. There are people that do nothing more than listen to my radio segments that have 50-1 tickets. Texas Tech is an underdog to Oregon, but we don't care about the points. We're going to just money line this. So we're going to take Oregon at minus 122. So if you bet $100, let's go $50. If you bet $50 on Texas Tech to win the championship, and you got better than 25 or 30-1, so you're going to make more than $1,500, I would recommend 5 to 7x on Oregon on the money line in this game. All right, so that's going to be, if you're a $25 bettor, you're going to bet $125 to up to $200 on Oregon to win this game. And by the way, this is conservative. I probably won't go this deep because I'm not sure that Texas Tech's going to win. They may throw pick sixes. Their punter might lose his thumb. So there's a chance things will happen. They'll lose. But I want to make sure that I'm making money. So if I'm a $1,000 player, I'm probably going to bet $4,000 on Oregon on the money line, guaranteeing myself $2,500. Now you're like, Jack, that's not very much. Well, that is only because I lean toward Tech winning this game. If I didn't think they were going to win, I would bet more, because my goal obviously is I'd love to win $80,000. That's great, but I don't want to lose out on a good decision in September of making something. So I'll be okay with $4K. We'll go eat dinner. It'll pay for this condo that I'm skiing in for a night or two, whatever it is. So I'm okay with that. If you're out there and if you're a client and you've been building profit for literally the entire month of December and all year long, which guys have been doing, if you want to guarantee yourself more money, go 20. Do 10. If you have 50-1, go up to 15-1. Now, next time, if you do that here, they need to lose for you to guarantee your 15, because you're going to have to back that down as we go forward. A conservative number is 5 to 7x, because next time, if they lose, and we'll talk about it next time, if they win, if Texas Tech wins, we'll talk about what that looks like. You'll be in 7x plus your original 8, but you're getting 30 to 40-1. So you have a bunch of room, and they only have to win 2 more games for you to win your original bet. So does that help with that, Brandon? What do you think? Did I do a horrible job?
I think
Good job?
It explains it. And I'll put something together so there's like an overlay on the screen that kind of shows like, hey, step by step, here's the math, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think that makes sense if you think about it long term. You think about, hey, I made this investment in September, October, maybe even into early November. Now's the time to pay it off. So you have to decide whether you just want to let that thing ride for a week and then maybe hedge it next week, or spend a little bit. You said 5 to 7x this week to try and guarantee yourself at least something off that return, off that decision.
You're good. And it's not try. You're going to guarantee yourself money with whatever you bet here on the other side. But the big question, as you alluded to, is what's the money worth to you? It's hard for me to speak to a guy who bet $25 in September, could make $1,500, lost his job in October, got a divorce in November. He's a single father with 2 kids that want Santa coming down that guy needs to probably behave differently than somebody that doesn't care about the bet $50 and doesn't care about $2,000. They're like, you know what, I'm gambling. It's all gambling. So if you don't care about the money, it's gambling to you. Bet less. I bet less and gamble that Texas Tech's going to win. I would never recommend not betting something. You made a good decision in September. Pay yourself off for that with something. Don't give the casino money. It's always that battle. Don't give them money based on a great decision you made in September. That makes me angry when I do that. I don't get sad, I get mad. I feel like that's a character thing for me. If I beat them on a decision in September, I want that paying off in December. Something. I want some money to put in my pocket and go buy treasures with. or something to hold my treasures, whatever. I want to get something. So, but it's all up to you. If you want to be a little more aggressive, bet less, because I do think Tech has a good chance of winning. I don't want an email if they lose, though. You told me they were going to win. No, I didn't. What I told you to do is if you have a ticket, you should hedge it at least for 4. I'm doing 4x, 5 to 7, and if you need the money, go up to 10x this time. All right, now you're getting 10x. You're not going to make as much if they ride it all the way out, but you're still making good money. Another thing that you have the opportunity, and then we're going to move on to these other games. Another possibility is you can bet a futures ticket on Oregon. And it gets really complicated when you do that, all right? So I would recommend, if you do that, betting a straight bet and a futures ticket. All right, so baby, bet 2x, guaranteeing yourself to get out of the original bet, and a 7-to-1 futures ticket for 1x. So if you bet $25, bet $25 on Oregon to win the national championship. You're still getting good odds at this point with them. What is it? It's 7-to-1, right? 7, 8 to 1. So if you're still getting 7-to-1,
just looking up here, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're still getting 7-to-1, it's okay to bet this, double the, so 2x what you bet on the other one. That way you're making 1 unit, and then take another unit. Now you're just in for 3x. Now you're not, if they lose and Oregon loses eventually, you're going to get that back later, because we can talk through that if they lose. But that's another way to go about it, is getting you a futures ticket on another team. And this will be, make no mistake, this will be the last week you can do that. Whoever wins this is not getting 7-to-1 going forward, because these other teams, although better, although more highly rated and highly regarded, they're going to not be that big a favorite. It's going to be inside a touchdown. So whether it's Indiana or it's Ohio State, it's going to be 6 probably. No matter who wins between Oregon and Texas Tech, they're probably 6. 6 only gets you, if you play the favorite, now you're laying 238 or so. 6.5 point underdog is going to be 235 as your money line number. So now you're really stretching. So this is your opportunity if you want to do something a little bit more exotic and play Oregon to win the national title. Get yourself another futures ticket there. So FatJackSports.com. The most important lesson here, guys, is if you don't have this as a problem, and this whole last thing was either foreign to you or you don't have a ticket because you're not that good at this and you didn't know to do that, you need to right now take advantage of our preseason rates and sign up. Get the season for the lowest rate possible at FatJackSports.com. Pay out the service fee over the next 10 months. That's basically a couple $100 a month. You're getting the baseball for free. You're getting the horses for free. You're getting all that for free, and you're getting the best rate of the entire year, and you're paying it out. Get that package. If you're playing basketball, get it now. You're going to pay more if you wait till August. Right now, I think it's $2,800 to get all of that, football and basketball, through the 2027 Super Bowl, Brandon. If you wait till August, you're paying $3,500 for football and basketball through the Super Bowl. So you've missed all of these games in March Madness this year and in January and February, all the summer stuff, all those plays. You're missing all of them, and you're paying more. That is not a smart decision. And I can't tell you this information in March because you don't get the deal in March. Take advantage now, make money long-term, invest in a winning 2026. And by this time next year, you're going to care about the futures tickets that you didn't even know you needed, and how to make free money around the holidays from a decision you made months ago. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and win this weekend.
One thing that I'm kind of excited about, and this is very selfish of me to sort of pound my chest on. I have futures tickets on Texas Tech, Oregon, and Alabama. Best part is they were all with free bets, so I'm free rolling this entire thing. So I'm very excited for the upcoming playoff games, because now I'm hedging with money to win off of free bets. So I'm more than guaranteeing myself.
And we should mention that, Brandon, the more effort that guys put into managing their bankroll, making smarter investment type choices and decisions, you're using the same information that I'm giving out to you with picks and with different things. You're just taking a little bit more time and a little bit more care to take advantage of the free bets, taking advantage of the competition that these sports books have within each other to get your business, and being smart about it. When it first opened up in New York and New Jersey, they were giving away $5,000 worth of free bets. And guys made a ton of money simply managing their bankroll and putting this thing on things they literally could not lose with. You're still getting that opportunity. Missouri right now for sure. any state that comes on board, or if you don't have an account, most of these places in these states, so if you're in, Texas and you're going to move to Colorado's going to they're going to compete for your business with these free bets. So take some time and then use these free bets. He's exactly right. He's betting $25, but he may win 50x on that because of information we gave away here on this show. Do those type of things, make extra money for free for doing nothing more than listening to this show and or preferably signing up for the service. You're going to get a bunch of things just for signing up. You got Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl, which we would hedge if they make it, and they may not. Now they lost Carolina again. We're going to turn to the NFL after the break, but Pittsburgh, that looks a little bit better, I guess. They're clearly not going to win the Super Bowl. We don't care. We're going to hedge that when they get in the playoffs. And then the Rams, those are the three I gave away before the season, all at 20-1 or better. The Rams, hey, eyebrows being raised a little bit there, right? They're much more of a favorite than they were at the 26-1, I think, that I got them at. So you get this information when you're a client for free as we go through the year. We haven't even talked about the fact that the World Cup is coming up this summer. Even if you're not a soccer fan, our soccer won again last week. And we're gonna have another great week, another great year of soccer. And if you're signed up for the soccer, you're building profit. Do that, and it costs you very little when you add it now to your packages. I spend a little more time on this week and next week, Brandon, because I do want people to win. That's the number one thing. Yes, these deals cost me money. There's no question about that. I would make more if I said nothing about the fall right now and just let people wait. Let them wait until they wanted to play. And by the way, Fulham's going to beat Nottingham. I mean, I'm absolutely on fire on the soccer. So it's a free money, Brandon. I didn't even look. During the 77th minute, it's 1-0. It's just free money going to the account for soccer on a Monday afternoon.
On a game that you're not even watching. That's what's even more awesome.
I barely knew they were playing. I got the picks on Thursday. I bet them on Thursday. I knew there was a game today. I didn't know who I had. I don't remember because I bet it on Thursday when I was trying to figure out who was going to win all these other games. But my soccer guys are great. So they sent me a bunch of soccer plays, and my balance went up by like $10,000 over the weekend on games I did not watch one set. I'm in a condo. I don't even know if I get soccer channels. I'm sure I do. It's on USA. But I don't know where to find it. I don't care.
Yep.
Go get signed up, save the money, and win long-term on sports you don't give a rip about. FatJackSports.com. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to turn to the NFL, and we're going to figure out who's going to win the Super Bowl. If it's not the Rams, which lost to Seattle, not looking as invincible going forward, we're going to talk about the odds of who's going to win the Super Bowl, talk about who's got inside track, maybe a little bit of the AFC, which is in total disarray again, yet still. We know who's not going to win it. Chiefs aren't going to win it. So we got to find a new front runner. We're going to do that and much, much more. Hopefully get you signed up for the season and invest in a winning future. You are listening to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's 2026. Are you ready to make some money betting on sports? How about New Year, New You? You are worth it. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get signed up for my plays at least through the Super Bowl. If not beyond that, March Madness or the NBA Finals. Get all the plays. It's less than $100 a week. The plays are emailed to you. They're on a personal portal, and they will make you money. FatJackSports.com. If you're betting on sports, turn over a new leaf this year and make money betting the games at FatJackSports.com.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and for the final time this week, here is our host, a man who seemingly loves hospitals. He's the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour. I actually don't. Life is so good right now. My daughter's unbelievably talented. And I tried to send out a text saying that we win or I win. I haven't done that yet. But I'm real happy with where my kids are. I'm happy in my marriage, business. This is going great. I'm making a lot of money betting on sports. I don't want to die something weird. And so every time I get something, I'm 55. So, you hear about people, oh, God, he was so young. It was too soon, all that. And not to mention I lost all this weight. So I don't want to have done all that work and then die of something weird. So I am a little bit on edge when something happens. FatJackSports.com while I tell this story, because I did have a recent thing Brandon was alluding to where I had to go to the hospital. So get signed up, season packages, lowest rates of the entire year. Here we go. So I'm driving from California to Las Vegas to do the TV shows. I'm going to go tape 2 TV shows. We pull into Barstow, California. Ever been to Barstow, Brandon?
It is the home of the world's largest thermometer. I have been to Barstow, yes.
Oh, my God. That's such a random fact. Home of the world's largest thermometer. What a weird fact that is. To me, it was the biggest piece of crap city I've ever been to.
It's not great, yeah.
And I've driven through it a number of times, never really stopped. Other than there's an In-N-Out burger there. I normally stop. It's like halfway between California, between LA and Vegas. So I'll stop there the few times I drive it. Pull into In-N-Out, go sit down, get a burger. We're eating. I look down. My fingernails, under my fingernails, are blue. All under my fingernails, like bright blue. So I immediately get on ChatGPT, figure out what the heck. Why are my fingernails blue? It immediately goes to, okay, this could be serious. It's a circulation issue. You don't have circulation going to you. There's doctors out there driving around nodding, saying, yeah, this could be serious. It's not heart attack deal. It's blood pumping. So could be something in your lungs, could be in your heart, but it's a serious thing, and you need to get checked. So I immediately get on the horn to my doctor. I say, hey, I got blue fingernails underneath my fingernail. He says, Jack, and I'm in Barstow, by the way, in the middle of absolutely nowhere, driving to Vegas, which is 2 more hours. He says, well, I wouldn't go to Vegas necessarily, because what happens if you 1 hour out, something happens? Now you're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody can get to you. You need to go get it checked out. So I immediately go to the minor emergency. Get up, don't eat my burger. Go to the minor emergency clinic in Barstow. I walk in. It looked like the Purge. There are people dying everywhere, laying on top of each other. It was the dumbest looking thing. I don't know what's going on in Barstow, but it's not a healthy area. I walk in. I said, I'm not waiting in this. If I wasn't dying, I'm going to be dying by the time I'm out of here. Somebody's going to give me something. So I go back to the car. I say, no, we're out of there. I'm not going there. Let's go to the hospital. Let's go to the emergency room. They'll get me in first. I'll tell them it's my heart, because it might be my heart. I walk in there, Brandon. It made the minor emergency clinic look like it was a candy land. There's people. Everybody in there wants illegal drugs. I can tell. I just walk in and can tell these people are all trying to get to the back so they can get some synthetic painkillers. I'm not going there. So I go back out and I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go to the Walmart, get on the blood pressure machine, get a blood ox machine to check the blood oxygen level, figure it out. So I go into Walmart. I don't recommend that in Barstow either. The place is horrible, especially around the holidays. Get in the thing. My blood pressure is a little high, not terrible. It was like 138 or 148 over 92, so a little high, not
great.
Not dying.
Yeah.
Not great, not dying. But I am nervous because I think I'm dying and I could kill over at any time. Go get the blood ox. The blood ox, I'm like 97. That's good. So I start thinking, what am I doing different? Why is this going on? Is there a common thing? I am taking this hair growth medication that is supposed to help your hair grow. And I don't know the drug exactly that's in there. I got this from Jim Traber's daughter's husband, who's trying to grow his hair. And his is working, Brandon. He's growing hair. And it takes like 3 months. I'm going to take this medicine for 3. But whatever this medicine is, it makes your blood pool around your extremities, apparently helping with the hair growth, whatever. So I immediately call my doctor back and say, hey, by the way, forgot to tell you, I'm taking so-and-so, this medicine for my hair. He says, Jack, why are you waiting? That's absolutely it. One of the side effects of that is your blood pools. Go to Vegas. Go back and eat your burger. Quit banging around Barstow like an idiot. You're not dying. You're just taking medicine that's making your blood pool in your fingernails. And by the way, I'm not sure it's causing hair growth. TBD on that. So that was that happened recently. I'm not dying, by the way, of that.
You're not dying. You weren't molesting a Smurf. I mean, all these are all positive things.
We went through the whole list, what it could be. Had I eaten a grape Kool-Aid, I drank grape Kool-Aid. Had I been intimate with a Smurf? I mean, we went through all of it. It was none of those things. We ended with, I'm just taking hair medication that may or may not be growing my hair, but it is turning my fingernails blue at least a little bit. So FatJackSports.com, get signed up today. Win this weekend. Have you pulled up the who's going to win the Super Bowl odds, Brandon? Because I do think there might be some value in some of that right now, because I don't think most people know. The Rams are obviously one of the favorites. Seattle, I guess, gets into that conversation with their win over the Rams. Denver loses at home to Jacksonville. So now that we don't even really know who's going to be the number 1 seed, and that's always such a big part of at least the projection of who's going to win it all, is who gets these number 1 seeds. So what are the odds right now? Do you have those pulled up?
I do. The Rams, these are all on DraftKings. Rams 4-1, Seattle 5, New England 9, Denver at 9, Buffalo and Philly all at 9, Jacksonville at 12, Green Bay, Houston, San Francisco, the Chargers, the Bears, all between 15 to 20, and then the Steelers and Bucks, who we have futures tickets on, 35 and 80 to 1 respectively.
And let's not forget, we also have tickets of 20 to 1 or better on the favorite. We have on the Rams that we gave out preseason to win the Super Bowl. They're now 4.5 to 1. They were 25 to 1 when I gave them out. So yeah, we've got 3 tickets. Do you have a lot of faith in any of them? All of those teams could lose,
Sure.
right? I mean, there's not a team who's the favorite, Brandon? Do you trust the Rams? And there's a little bit of addition to the problem with the fact you have to find look at home field for all these teams matters, but a lot more for some than others. I mean, if Seattle gets home field or Buffalo gets home field, Philly gets home field, Denver.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the places that if you were a visiting team that you don't want to go to, for I would think, are Seattle because of the travel. It's a long way to get up there and the noise. Denver because of the altitude and that defense is really good. Buffalo because it could be -6 and snowing. Anyone else probably doesn't do a whole lot for me. In terms of like home field advantage, even New England, it's not exactly an intimidating place to play. So if you're looking at that from a value standpoint, as far as the toughest place to play at, Seattle at 5 to 1 probably is the leader in the clubhouse there. But Denver would probably be more scary just because of the altitude and the potential of weather.
Yeah, you get 6.5 to 1 with Seattle at FanDuel. So again, we've talked about this before. Friendly reminder: shop your lines if you're going to bet any of these things in season. Denver 9.5 to 1 here. I think Brandon said they were about that. Another way of putting that is if you're a fan of any of these teams, you're not terribly scared of any one other team. I mean, you go through this list, and everybody likes their chances against most of these teams, certainly on a neutral field. And even going there, there's not some place you say, God, we're finished if we go there. I mean, Buffalo is always the scariest because if I was a fan of any of these other teams or Philly, because the fans are crazy. They're always engaged. You're always going to get bad weather. Teams like the Rams, if I'm a Rams fan, which I am right now because we have this big ticket, or Houston down at 13 to 1, or the Packers, them going on the road. I don't love that. So, but I think it's interesting. Who do you like to win it all right now, Brand, if we had to give somebody?
It always is intriguing because it seems like this is the time of year where teams start to get hot and go on and make a run in the playoffs. As wild as that sounds, Carolina, Chicago, and Pittsburgh. I mean, they've had the biggest wins, maybe even Jacksonville.
I was going to say Jacksonville.
If you're one of those people that likes to play the teams that are the hottest going into the playoffs, those are 4 to really kind of pin down. The Bears are intriguing to me because it's obvious that Ben Johnson was the stick that stirred the drink there in Detroit. It wasn't Dan Campbell. It was Ben Johnson calling those plays. Him with Caleb Williams and an emerging receiving core, I think a vastly underrated defense. The Bears might be for real, and that's scary because they don't know what they don't know yet. And that's that. If they host a playoff game, good luck because
God help us all if it's the Bears.
Degrees.
Yeah, I mean the Bears.
It's better than the Bills, but yeah.
Your point's exactly right. We haven't talked a lot about that. The fact that Detroit is 150 to 1. And
they're done. They have to win out and then get help in order to make the playoffs.
The main change they had, it's not a lot of X's and O's with them. It's simply they lost a key part of their coaching staff who's gone to the Bears. And I have not been I've been a doubter of the Bears, mainly because of their turnover margin early in the year. But as they win these big ones, I don't know how we look at the Bears and we don't look at Jacksonville in the same light, though. I mean, Jacksonville went and beat Denver. They're in a conference that's wide open right now, and all the other teams have flaws. And so if we get the Trevor Lawrence that we were getting at Clemson, a guy that makes better decision and has a rocket attached to his right shoulder, this guy they're good enough defensively. I'm not saying I like them. I'm just saying anybody over 10 to 1, I'm looking who I like. I still am not a huge believer in New England. They beat Buffalo, or they beat Baltimore, but Lamar Jackson goes down early in that game. They have to score late to win. I'm not super afraid of New England. They have played the easiest schedule in literally like the last 20 years. So I may be proven wrong there. And I have a lot of New England Patriots fans that I have to be around, especially in the media. So I may regret saying that, but I don't think they get there. Houston's also another intriguing one for me. Great defensively and have sparks of being really good offensively. I think they might be a flyer at 13-1. FatJackSports.com, guys, last chance before we hit into 2026. These prices go up on New Year's Eve at midnight. Get the best rate of the entire year, pay out the service fee over the next 10 months, and get all the plays all year long this year. If you've never done this before, I have a ton of guys, hundreds of guys that will take advantage of this and make this year a winning year, another winning year for them. So if you're one of those guys that signed up in the past for a weekend, or maybe you've never done it before, go to the website, apply some common sense, look at the results tab, see how we're doing. Apply your betting amount there. And if you're a $50 a game player or around that range, this is absolutely the time you lock in, because at those numbers, you need a better win percentage than a guy that's betting $5,000 a game or $20,000 or whatever. So take advantage of it. Be smart. Take advantage of these low rates, pay out the service fee, and make money all year long. Any final thoughts, Brandon?
To hammer down that point, if you're just playing football, there's a package through next year's Super Bowl. Football and basketball, a package through next year's Super Bowl. If you're doing all the sports, UFC, soccer, horse racing, baseball, whatever we offer at the service through the Super Bowl next year, it's all there for you. Different price points. Figure out what you want to do. Make an investment. 2026, new year, new you, all that good stuff. There's options for you to make money in this world. And listening to this show, signing up and becoming a client are two great steps to start off the new year with.
$17.99 for football if you sign up today and pay it all at once. It costs $2,400 if you wait until August, and you have missed everything all year between now and then that will be free in that sport and in baseball and in horse racing. Go get signed up today. Guys, have a great weekend. Happy New Year, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Wager responsibly. Have a great time heading into 2026. A lot to be thankful for everybody out there that's listening. Focus on those things and not the fact that your family's pissed you off yet again. Until next week, for Brandon the Fat Jack, this has been the Fat Jack Sports Hour.